Okay, solve the system of equations. Number 1, 8x plus 2y equals negative 2. And then the second equation is y equals negative 5x plus 1. So I have an xy that is my solution. It's a system of equations. If you have a letter by itself, you box it, that's your base, and circle the other side. So write the other, you're going to use substitution. 8x plus 2y equals negative 2. Now replace your y with negative 5x plus 1. So just rewrite that equation with that in place of the y. 8x plus 2 parentheses negative 5x plus 1 equals negative 2. So I need to distribute the factor of 2. 2 times negative 5x is negative 10x. 2 times 1 is 2. So that's done. We just have to add the 8x in there. Okay, now your x's are on the same side. You just add those two. So negative 10x plus 8x is negative 2x, and then plus the constant of 2. So I minus the 2, the constant 2 over here, and that's negative 4. So divide by negative 2, and negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2, so x is 2. Now when solving for the y, use the equation where the y is by itself. Because you see, all I need to do is replace the x with 2 and take negative 5 times 2 plus 1. That's negative 10 plus 1 is negative 9. That's the answer. Okay, number 2. 2x plus 1y equals negative 1. Normally they don't put the 1 there. I did to help you out a little bit. Y equals 3x minus 16. So again, we have to find where the x and the y. By the way, again, there were problems where you had to graph two lines, find where they intersect. We can't really do that without graph paper. So, okay, we have the letter by itself there. That's your base. And that's what the base is equal. So use your other equation, 2x plus 1y equals negative 1. So the y again is the base. And we want 3x minus 16 to replace it. So you have 2x plus 1 parentheses 3x minus 16 equals negative 1. So I distribute my factor of 1. So it's 3x. It's minus 16, same thing, and then add your 2x. Okay, the x's, we combine those, that makes 5x minus 16, then add your 16. Negative 1 plus 16 is 15, and then divide by 5, and that's 3. Okay, now solve for the y equals 3x minus 16. So the x is 3. So 3 times 3 minus 16 is negative 7. Okay, number 3, we have 4x plus y equals 8. Negative 3x minus y equals 0. Now this time we don't have that same benefit of having a letter by itself. No, you don't have to rewrite the equation. You're going to follow the elimination method. You want to get either the x's or the y's to cross out. Well, the x's won't. Put ones, the y's will. When I have a positive and a negative of the same thing, they're opposites, so they cross out. So 4 plus negative 3 is 1x, and 8 plus 0 is 8. Then I divide by 1. But it's 8, so x equals 8. Now solve for the y, you can use the very first equation, 4x plus 1y equals 8. So now that I have my answer for x, I can put 4 times 8 is 32 plus 1y. Then I minus 32. 8 minus 32 is negative 24. Divide by 1, still negative 24. Okay. Number 4, 3x plus 2y equals negative 10. 2x minus 5y equals 3. Okay, again, you have to use elimination. So that's 5x, you can't cross anything out right now, okay? So the 2, you just bring that to the top, 3, bring here, look at your x's, you'll get those to drop out. So we times the rest of this by 2, and the rest of this by 3. So what happens now? Well, 3x times 2 is 6x, plus 4y, negative 10 times 2 is negative 20. Then down here we have 6x minus 15y, and 3 times 3 is 9. So let's try this again, okay? Now, I have the same number here. I could cross it out if I made that negative, so I'll do that, but then I have to make that opposite and that opposite. So that's 19y, and that's negative 29. So now I'm going to divide by 19. Now it's a decimal, who cares? Okay, we're just going to round it to the nearest tenth. Negative 1.5, okay, it would stay 5 because it's just a 2. And that's going to be our answer for the y. Now to get the x, use the very first equation. Just copy it down. 3x plus 2y equals negative 10. And I know my y is negative 1.5. Okay, we have 3x. The product of 2 and negative 1.5 is negative 3, so minus 3. Then we add 3. That's negative 7. Then divide by 3. Negative 7 divided by 3 is negative 2.3. Okay. Okay, then we have story problems. In 1 week, a music store sold 9 guitars for a total of $3,611. The electric guitars sold for $479 each, and the acoustic guitars sold for $339 each. How many of each type of guitar were sold? So I'm figuring out the electric guitars and how many acoustic guitars. Not what they cost, I know that. I want to know how many of them there are. So 3 units, electric, acoustic, and dollars. So with 3 units, we're going to this table here. Together, how many per total? And then put your electric and your acoustic, and then dollars per dollars total. This is not about money, so don't put it there. Okay, the total cost together is $3,611. Now, do you know how many electric guitars there were? Nope. Do you know how many acoustic? Nope. You know how many of them were together? 9. So X and Y. Okay, what's the cost for an electric guitar? $479. Cost for an acoustic, $339. And then multiply, but it'd just be $479. And by the way, this is an equation up there now. And I have created a system from this problem. Okay, so make your cross. And we have X plus Y equals 9. And then 479X plus 339y equals 3611. Now put ones because you're going to have to do the elimination. Now you're going to have to multiply because you can't cross the x's or the y's out. So 479 and 1. So I'm going to times the rest of this by 479 and the rest of this by 1. So it's going to be 479x plus 479y, and then 479 times 9 is 4,311. And the bottom stays the same. 479x plus 339y equals 3611. Now you could cross these out, as long as you make this one a negative. But then you got to go through the rest of that equation and change those to opposite, negative, negative. So 479 plus negative 339 is 140y. And then 4,311 plus negative 3,611 is 700. Then divide by 140. And that's 5. So y equals 5. So the acoustic guitars, we know there's 5 of those. Well, if we know there's 9 together and the acoustic's 5, I think I could just take 9 minus 5 and get 4. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, number 6. An adult pass for a fair costs $2 more than a children's pass. When 378 adult and 214 children passes were sold, the total revenue was $2,384. Find the cost of each type of pass. So this time you know how many passes. You're trying to find what they cost. So it's different than the last one. You are still going to make the table because there's 3 significant units here. You have together how many per and total. Okay, together the total is $2,384. This is actually quicker than the last one. You got your adults and children. So how many adult passes? Well, this time I have a number to put here. Okay, 378. 214, you can add those, and that's 592. We're not going to do anything with 592, but it's nice to see. And the other thing left, the only information I haven't used is the fact that adult pass costs $2 more. 2 more means I put a +2 in adults, and when I put the plus, I don't need y, okay? I put x plus 2, and then just a solo x there. Then that times that can be written as 214x. Now to multiply this by this, you need to put that expression in parentheses and use the rainbows, times. So 378 times x is 378x. 378 times 2 is 756. So there's the only equation I need, okay? That isn't going to help me up there because there's no variables. So I have 378x plus 756 plus 214x equals 2,384. Then the x's you add 378 plus 214 is 592x plus 756. Then we'll have the answer for x as soon as we subtract 756. 2,384 minus 756 is 1,628. Then I divide by 592. And 1628 divided by 592 is 2.75. But that I want the decimal because it's dollars. So x 2.75. That's how much the children's pass costs. Now how are we going to find the adult's pass? We'll go to adult, and you know that your x is 275. 275 plus 2 is 4.75. Okay, last problem, number 7. 2 schools buy helmets and uniforms from a store. One school buys 5 helmets and 7 uniforms for $250. The other buys 7 helmets and 10 uniforms for $354. Find the cost of a single helmet and the cost of a single uniform. So helmets and uniforms. Finding what they cost again. Okay. So diagram that table. We're using this table anytime we have 3 units. Now the 3 boxes I draw here is when there's 2 units. But here there's 3 significant. How many do we have? What's the per rate and what's the total? Okay, and you got helmets and uniforms. So this time there's 2 different schools, so there should be 2 different costs together. And the first one is $250 and the second one is $354. So that means every other box I fill out should have 2 things in it. How many helmets? Well, one school bought 5, the other school bought 7. Put them in that order, because it goes with the 250. Uniforms 7 and 10. Then you add 20, that's 12 and 17. Now X, X, Y, Y. So it's going to be 5X, 7X, 7Y, 10Y. So these are your two equations you're going to work with within the system. 5X plus 7Y equals 250. 7X plus 10Y equals 354. So again, we have to use elimination. You can't cross either one of them out. So times the rest of that by 7, the rest of that by 5, and we're good to go. So I'm going to get 35X plus 49Y, and then 7 times 250, 1,750. Then you got 35X plus 50Y, 1,770. Negative, and then I can cross out, but then that and that go negative. So it's going to be negative 1Y, and when I add those, it's negative 20. Remember, always add them with the negative in there too. And divide by negative 1, and Y is 20. Okay, so my Y, the uniforms cost $20 for each school. Makes sense, because they don't change for one school, so the unis are $20. Right there. You don't have a quick way to get the second answer. You have to put 20 into this equation here. Okay, so Y is 20. Okay, so 7 times 20 is 140. It's 110, 5X equals 110, then divide by 5. 110 divided by 5 is 22.